we are expecting traffic. We are expecting traffic around Suzuka East, the shorter of the two venues at the Grand Prix famous venue. Front-wheel drive on pole for a change. Jack Scaife there, and alongside him, one of the title contenders, Gordon Butcher. Now, I say one of. Adrian Michael Rees here, Michael Swinnerton alongside me. I've had a quick glimpse at the entire standings here. And with 4 races to go, 30 points for the win, 2 points for the fastest lap, there's a potential for the remaining rounds total. If you win all 4 and get fastest lap, that's 128 points. Putting that through the spread of drivers, mathematically, given how wide open the championship is, there are 18 drivers within range of winning the championship. The further down you go, the less likely it is, of course, given that there are other points for other positions. But this has been one hell of a roller coaster ride, and we've got 2 more to go around Suzuka East.
Yeah, you're not wrong. That is, I will trust your maths because you are better at numbers than I am. That's quite insane that only 2 people are not eligible or not mathematically possible for the championship this time round.
Range.
But that really does show how strong a championship this has been in its inaugural season.
Strong or weak? I mean, Toyota, we know that they've got they found their groove. They are still mathematically on course, obviously, whether that be Winterbottom or Narusai. I think we've worked out to be in there are 7, if not 8, if not 9 of them that are more likely to win it on projected points. But of course, 4 to go, and it's going to be even more of a lottery if the traffic plays havoc with the front of the field. And also the front-wheel drive aspect is going to be demolished once the lights go out here, I think. Let's see what happens. Off the line, of course it does. Butcher lead already. Scaife not only down to 2nd, but down to 4th as the other four-wheel drives. Lotterer, okay. Dankeschön, turn 1. Okay, Butcher, hang on a minute. They're side by side through the J turn. Turn 1, Katayama and Narusai 4th. Scaife down to 5th. Down to 5th. Okay, here are the S's. Won't need to mention much turn names. It's turn 1, S's, final turn. Job done. High-speed traffic jam commences.
Yeah, this is going to be the most of the lap going around here is just navigating these S's because it is half of the entire circuit this time round. Katayama getting a really good front row seat, nicks herself past Lotterer into 2nd. Butcher clearing the lead. Off they go.
And not too a very memorable couple of one-off events for NASCAR used this venue as well, rather than the full layout. And we're seeing some key players at the back of the pack as well. They're Winterbottom with a couple of wins in, leading the championship, but it's probably going to not be by the end of the weekend if he's going to be stuck there all this weekend.
Yeah, 18th place is not where you want to be if you're trying to go for a championship. They really missed the mark in qualifying, so the Genesis team have got a lot of work to do for this weekend so far.
Frentzen then in the BMW bookending this pack. Degrassi got work on her hands in the Volkswagen now that there is a Ford Focus 4-wheel drive chasing her down, not being last. The Yuasa team might be on the cars to usurp and get away from last place by the current form book. Scraping a point right now, but still early days.
Yeah, she did well to put the car 8th place in qualifying, so evidently she had quite a bad start. Got herself all the way down to 15th, but yeah, hopefully she can extract some points from this race weekend, though with that Subaru there looking a bit racy, I don't know whether that's going to be the case.
Yeah, that Subaru's a bit low down as well. There's Muto. Here's the rest of the midfield, including the Mitsubishis. There are the 2 chasers. Looking a bit more decked out with sponsors. Bit too little too late now that everyone else is caught up, but they were the surprise package at the start of the season. Here's Ingram, 1 win in the bag.
Yeah, he qualified 11th, so he's made up a couple of spots from the start. He's him and his teammate are currently sandwiching Marius Rustad here in a pair of Mitsubishis. So once again, we've got Mitsubishi Lancer versus Subaru Impreza on track.
The rivalry, but not as we know it.
Yes, no dirt anywhere to be found this time round.
Suzuki 10th in the other Honda. Lotterer has dropped back. Katayama up to second, Butcher leads.
Everybody just forming a very big 20-car strong snake at the minute, just navigating these S's.
3 laps down, and Scaife has the fastest lap. So after a bad start, much work to be done. 4th place, taking that off of Narusai.
Well, he's shown that the car has speed. He did put it on pole, so that's entirely possible. It wouldn't surprise me to see Scaife have a bit of an early race surge here and potentially get himself back onto the podium. I think he probably is quicker than the Mercedes in front of him. He's just got to find a way past, which isn't necessarily the most easiest thing on this layout of Suzuka here. But unless I'm very much mistaken, this track is still owned by Honda and therefore used by Honda a lot. So that Civic and Jack Scaife will know their way around this track a little bit better than everybody else.
Even the leader, Butcher, might not have much track time here. Even if they were here for practice for the Worlds, even though Fuji is the regular venue. Narusai closing in. They're starting to spread out from the mid-pack, but Sonia 6th.
Yeah, the top 5 are definitely breaking away into their own little group here. Pitsonia not quite keeping up. Still a good, strong 6th place. And it is definitely Mazda and Toyota that are going to be picking up the lion's share of the points here, with both cars in the top 6. With the other teams having one car up the sharp end of the grid and then another car outside the top 10.
And having seen this seems to be the way of things now. I think first 3 rounds of the season, notwithstanding high speed ring, I think even the teams didn't know where they sat in the championship, and I suppose by the time, fingers crossed, if we do get to cover season 2, that this might be the hierarchy when we are, say, 2 or 3 rounds into season 2 perhaps.
Yeah, it's entirely possible, and even if we don't get to cover it again, I'm fairly confident you will see onboard streamed footage like we've started to see with the Euros being uploaded.
Ingram chasing down Rustad again.
Yeah, he's looking racy. I think he's quicker than the Subaru in front of him. Again, he just needs to find a way past, just like Scaife on Lotterer. Trying all of the road.
Pitsonia starting to hold this pack up. On the outside.
See the top 5 disappearing around the corner there.
Rustad giving us dirt. We wanted dirt, but wrong place, wrong time. Ooh, bump.
Slight bump draft. That's given Rustad some momentum. I don't know whether he'll be able to make anything of it on the Carno. I'm not sure that's what Ingram intended to do. I think he wanted to pull out alongside and get the run down the straight there, but
too late to do a dive bomb either, unless nope. Just second half of the J turn. Okay, maybe it's on.
Inside there. There we go.
There we go.
Sinker. That was very opportunistic, but Rustad did leave the door open just enough.
And with 33% of the race gone, still the top 3, Butcher, Katayama, Lotterer. Then a spread with Pitsonia holding the rest of the mid-pack up. And, okay, no one tailing off, no one failing the incompetence test. Or passing the incompetence test, shall we say, by being in the final sector, just like everyone else was.
looks like nobody's missed the mark on the car setup this time round, which is good to see. I mean, we're starting to see a bit of spread now in the field there. Slight gaps forming.
I think we're clear of Rustad. Suzuki might be there to pounce, but I think that four-wheel drive of the Subaru is going to keep it ahead. Scaife still threatening. Will the move be on through these S's, but through the shortcut maybe?
I think if Scaife's going to have any chance of getting this podium position, it's got to be get a good run out of the last corner and out-drag him down the start-finish straight.
Almost there. That shortcut, I mean, there's no space to make it wider. I've always found that to be a very narrow stretch of track. Not even room for two cars through there to allow for the overtake to occur down this stretch of track.
Yeah, it's why you've got to use it as a setup corner. If you get a better exit, you can get a lot more momentum going down the start-finish straight, which is difficult to do because that last corner is so aggressively downhill. It doesn't matter what you're driving, everything wants to understeer. Everything wants to go into the gravel trap on the outside of the corner there.
Which, so, having a bit of a gap. Katayama perhaps holding up Lotterer, and in turn Scaife and RSI.
I don't know if Katayama's holding up Lotterer per se. I think Lotterer is busy defending from Scaife because there's a decent couple of car lengths between those two. Katayama is just doesn't quite have the speed to keep up with Butcher this time round. Anyway, top 5, line astern.
We just wait for anyone to flinch. Muto closing in on Suzuki.
Yeah, Muto could potentially salvage something out of what has been a bad weekend for the Genesis team so far, because of course if he gets past the Honda in front, he will have the pole position for race 2.
Of course he will. Then you got your points paying regulars further back, including those two chasers, and then Tagashi has got ahead of Degrassi. Fujiwara closing in on that Golf too.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. After easily her best qualifying position of the year, this is not the track for the Golf. We know the Golf is not happy in corners at the best of times, and when you're at a track that is basically all corners and a start-finish straight.
This is the battle for last in the championship right here. Fujiwara closing in.
Yeah, that new Focus has some speed to it. We saw it at Autopolis.
Oh,
even if it's a
bit of an
wobbly.
Wobble on. Gap down the inside, maybe not. Winterbottom still not clear of this battle.
I don't know what they've done to Winterbottom's car, but it's clearly not worked.
Which then means, even before we get to race 2, that puts Butcher ahead of Winterbottom before we get to reverse grid time.
It is really incredible how open this championship has been, with all the different race winners we've had, with all the different teams being pretty much on par with each other. I've never known a championship season in any form of racing to be so wide open like this. It means that, if you're a fan, you've got a favourite. Odds are your favourite is still in with a mathematical shout at that championship, though probability will differ.
Most of the fan base here will be the Honda team, of course. Toyota next in the seats.
Yeah, fair few Mazda bits of merchandise I saw knocking around as well. And that's not to forget the Subaru and Mitsubishi contingents.
And with it getting a bit more overcast, is this where that Honda's going to be ready to pounce on Lotterer, who's still keeping their discipline?
Yeah, Lotter is doing a very good job of defending and just putting the car where he needs to put it to stop Scaife from getting past. And then on the flip side of that, Scaife is being very, very patient. He hasn't, resorted to slightly rough and tumble tactics of moving the Mercedes out the way. He's being very polite about it. He's probably happy with 4th place still, given some of the results the Hondas have gotten this year. And of course, they are the only works team not to have won any races so far this year, which will definitely be playing on their minds a bit.
And for a point, that did echo in the World Championship as well. Let me just double check that.
Yeah, Jason Thompson won at Laguna Seca, I believe.
Got there eventually. You'd think the Hondas around here would have done that by now, but 4-wheel drive has been king throughout the championship. Rear-wheel drive getting a fair few numbers in as well. Not just the chasers, but that BMW at high speed ring.
Yeah, Ellen Frenson really found something there, or the team really found something.
We didn't say fluke. Whoops, I just did.
Though, speaking of drivetrains, there was a slight piece of news. It was confirmed with the eBay team, with Volkswagen's new pivot into focusing on privateer entries, they're going to run a second car. So there will be another front-wheel drive entry for the next season. No idea who's driving it yet. They've not announced that. But we do know that Degrassi will have a teammate. That team will have a slightly bigger presence on the grid, which hopefully should mean more points-paying finishes just through sheer probability and statistics, as well as maybe finding a bit more speed with Volkswagen's help.
Volkswagen's campaign now, no works effort, but just input for every single Volkswagen that enters the Super Touring franchise. So a nice bridge to have for any budding team driver. Get in a Golf and find your feet before being picked up by one of the stronger teams, perhaps.
Yeah, potentially it's going to be a really good stepping stone for anyone that really wants to make a career out of tin top racing.
Nomura on board, Schumacher ahead. Lotter being the better performing of the two Mercedes this time by. Muto still trying to yank the rug from under Nakajima's feet and get in the pole for race 2. Ingram and Nakano having a bit of a dice.
It looks like a bit of a Mitsubishi civil war here. Ingram might be the quicker car, giving a bit of a hurry up to Nakano.
Wake up
Go
call.
on, get yourself past the Mazda, please. Let's go.
Oh, it's my turn. Scaife still with the fastest lap. Not been beaten since lap 4.
Yeah, I think Scaife had the magic combination of not enough traffic to hold him up, but enough traffic to give him a tow down the straight. Ingram has a look, backs out of it. Gives Nakano the space to get through turns 1 and 2. So I think he is trying to play the team game here. Ingram did say to me that the team have sadly no intention of retaining him for a second season, even though they've been very happy with his performance. So not sure what their plan is for season 2.
And the sun has come back out. Pitsonia still 6th. Not enough effort to get ground on the top 5.
This is going to make the track temperature a little bit warmer. It's going to help some cars, possibly hinder others. Lotter, it seems, has kind of pulled away a little bit from Scaife, caught up to Katayama an amount. I don't think it's quite enough to really make her worried yet. Maybe the front tyres have gone off of Scaife's car, because it almost looks like Naruse is potentially able to take or start having a go at taking 4th place back.
Yeah, time's running out though. 2 laps to go.
Yeah, if Scaife wants to get a podium, he's going to have to just make a massive send into turn 1/2 and hope that it sticks.
This is the key to the race now. I think it's been fairly subdued, all things considered, and it's very likely this might just be the result. But we want to see some action at least. We want to see Scaife get something back for a bad start in comparison to the 4-wheel drive surge off the line. Maybe it was to be expected. More power out of that Honda on the start line would have been very helpful.
I mean, Honda have been making upgrades this whole year. I think their big, what's the word I'm looking for? Priority has been weight saving. So that Civic, as you see it, is actually a lot lighter than it was at the start of the year. And I think that's where they're getting the speed from, because it's also, of course, helping the handling.
It's this lap or nothing. These turns are nothing now. But maybe too big a risk considering championship points anyway. And the reverse grid. But Butcher's about to get another win by the looks of it. Or have I jinxed it?
Well, if he has, it's been a while. Toyota had some speed in the early part of the season and then sort of dropped off through the middle part. So to see him come back strong at the end of the season, with the championship being as wide open as it is, this is probably the right time to do it.
Win number 3, round the bend. Butcher is back, Toyota are back, and Butcher will be leading the championship before we hit race 2, thanks to Winterbottom's performance or lack thereof. Pizzoni, Nakano, Ingram, line astern, no change there. Rostad down to 9th. Suzuki with the pole for race 2. Nomura Inide scraping some sensible points. Subaru claiming one more, and nobody got lapped. Okay, I was expecting to see a lot more traffic than that, but thankfully everyone brought their A game. But Butcher's A game was much better. Subdued race 20. We'll hopefully see better for race 2, no doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. They need to, I mean, I did say at the top of this, overtaking was going to be difficult given the nature of the circuit, and that realistically all the best overtaking opportunities are on the Grand Prix part on the West course.
Yeah.
Of Suzuka, but you know, we've got a reverse grid coming up. We've got another Honda on pole. Who knows what might happen for race 2?
Who knows indeed, and we'll see you soon. Good racing, everyone.